Good evening. Good evening, everybody. We are almost to the new year, so happy early New Year's to everybody. Please hit that like button as you um, come into the video. I'd appreciate that. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Um, so, we're going to be talking about create your life, create the life you want, and how cosmic people are creators. So we're going to talk about that. This is going to get a little bit, you know, deep and making people look at themselves and take more responsibility for the life that they want to create. So it's a mindset. Everything is a mindset. So if we're thinking correctly, we should be living the life we choose or the life we create. So a lot of people are not thinking correctly and they are not living the life that they want because of that incorrect thinking. So I'm going to be telling y'all a few of my tips and helping a few people and making sure that people understand that cosmic people are creators. Okay. And a lot of people are not living the lives that they want because they did not create it. So why would it be what you wanted? You know? Why would your life be what you wanted if you didn't have any parts of creating it? Um, Now, as we get upon 2020, we are getting into the multiple realities, the multiple, worlds, and each world and each created world is for the creators, are for cosmic people. So, as a many worlds that can be created, as many universes that can be created, why don't you think that you're able to create your little old bitty life? Okay. So, how did the earth shift? How did it change? How did it go from 3D to 4D? Mental, learning, knowledge, waking up, the changing of a frequency, right? So, that's what you have to do to start creating change in your life to have the life that you want and that create the life that you want. Okay. Because nobody can create your life that you want. They don't know you well enough. Okay. Thank you, Crystal Corner TV, Sprinkle Sprinkle. Thank you, Tiffany Harris. I appreciate that. Hold on a second. So they don't know. So how can they create your life that you want? So as cosmic people, we must start creating it. We must write it down. We must visualize it, manifest it, work towards it, see ourselves there with zero doubt. Because that's the only way that we're going to be able to create our lives. Nobody else can create it for you. You can live in the aftermath of other people's decisions. You can live in the leftovers of other people's manifestation, or you can create your own. Okay. So, you know, I think I've done a lot of, talking to people, and I've realized that people are living backwards. And when I say backwards, I don't mean wrong. I just mean they're looking at it from the wrong perspective. They're not looking at it from the creator's perspective. They're looking at it from a prisoner's perspective or a slave's perspective. They're looking at it from a lack, a perspective of lack instead of a perspective of uh, power. hmm How do we know what we want is right for us? Um, if it is beneficial to you and your offspring and people around you, I think, it doesn't really matter if it's right or wrong. What do you want? There is no right or wrong in higher dimensions. There are just experiences and realities. Okay. So And remember, when we're talking about the lives that we want, we don't mean the people we want to control. Because remember, each person, each cosmic person is a creator themselves. So you can't really control another creator. But we need to start thinking more about ourselves and not what we want other people to do. If there's somebody that you just cannot have, find someone similar. You know, that's create a similar circumstance, create a similar being to come amongst you. You know, so don't always try to control something when you can create something new. Okay. Um, and that thing always kind of bothered me that somebody would rather control someone than just to go get someone that's going to do something of the sort already and enjoy it, you know. So yeah, so controlling people and trying to control everything is not creative. That's the opposite. Because if you can't create, then you must control. Okay? If you cannot create, I'm gonna repeat that. If you can't create, you have to try to control. So you got to stop trying to control every single thing and just create. Say what you want, walk towards what you want, see what you want, know what you want, and you're going to start seeing it in real life. You're going to start experiencing it in real life. You're going to start having people mention it to you in real life. You're going to start to see more and more of that reality be created right in front of your very eyes. Okay. So create, stop trying to control. That's number one. Stop trying to figure out what's right or wrong. What do you want to experience? There is no, you know how they say there is no right or wrong answer? What do you want to experience? That's what you need to ask yourself. What do you want to experience? Um, how does one create by scripting? Well, just like someone makes a movie. I mean, it starts with a script first, an idea, and then they find the people that play the roles, and then they find the wardrobe, and then they find the background and the props and all that kind of stuff. It's the same way in levels. Okay. So when you think about creating the life you want, think about a movie. How does someone make a movie? What do they got to do? They just don't say, "Ooh, I want to make a movie. I'll sit back and wait for that movie to be made." No, they have to get up and do some work. They got to audition people. They got to rewrite scripts. They have to find a wardrobe, camera. They have to do all of this work to make a movie, to make a reality. And that's what we have to do. We have to change a lot of things in order to see the outcome of the life that we want. So, how I would create a life. Let's say I was new to this and I was like, I want to be living totally a different life next year or in a couple of months. Okay, I want to be one of those people that can wake up whenever they want and do whatever they want and never have to answer to anybody else again. Okay, how do I do this? I don't have a lot of money. I need to figure out how I can stop working for other people and work for myself so I can wake up whenever I want, or I need to find a job that I can work from home and do it whenever I want. So, what's my first step? Start looking for those type of opportunities, those type of jobs. Maybe look into starting a business that you can work from home. Maybe start looking for something like that. Just start by auditioning, you know. So that's it. That's pretty much it, step by step. And it's not going to happen overnight, but you can create it and you can also visualize yourself as something. And so when you wake up every day and you visualize yourself as a certain type of person, that's what you will be. Those are the type of decisions you will make as that type of person. An entrepreneur person, a spiritual person, both. You're not going to make decisions as a person who doesn't know how to get there. you know so you're going to make decisions based on where you want to go, not where you are. Right. Stop saying no to yourself. Exactly. Don't make decisions on where you are. Make decisions on where you want to go. So let's say you get some money for Christmas, or taxes come back, you got your tax, refund or whatever. What are you gonna do with that money? That money right there, you get that money every year if you work. That money can change your entire existence just by one little bitty check, depending on what you do with it. So we all have the tools, we all have the opportunities. We just don't have the mindset to create the life we want out of what we have available to us because we're not thinking. Okay. So before you even get the opportunity, act like you already got the opportunity and write down exactly what you would do with this money. How are you going to make some money off of this money? How are you going to grow spiritually? How are you going to help other people? If you can do all those things at the same time and, live the life you want, you won. You won. So that's why every time I go to the store, not every time, but every time I see a little journal, I buy one because I'm always writing down my plans. I'm always writing down things and lists, things to do, ideas, what's next. And I'll go back and look at those things and they're either already done or I'm working on the next thing. Even if I never find that book or look back at it again, it's in here, you know. So when you're not doing anything, when you're not doing anything, you could be researching. You could be trying to figure out your next move instead of sitting there watching, something that doesn't do anything for you. Like a lot of those TV shows, reality TV shows that will not do a thing for you. The amount of time people spend watching useless information, they could have started their own business, could have written a book, could have, done so many things to better themselves and have the life they're watching, in awe, other people have. They could have been there. And I think we don't realize that it only takes a few steps. And, once you get on a path, it's hard to get off once you're already headed that way. So eventually you're going to get there. Eventually you will have your life. But you just have to keep moving in that one direction to get to that lifestyle. And I think a lot of people use the new year as a starting point, but I don't. I use every day as a new starting point. Every day I wake up and I say, okay, what do I want now? What do I want to do now? It's not even the I don't know what to do. It's what do I want to do now? What do I want to create now? Okay. So you want to get to that point. You want to get to that point to wake up every day happy and excited to do something different, new, start something new, continue on the path to get to where you're trying to go and watch everything unfold because that's how you're supposed to live. You're supposed to live as a creator, not as a prisoner, not as someone who's being controlled, not as someone who doesn't like their existence, but someone who wakes up and creates on a daily basis and enjoys this experience. Okay, so you got to get into that. Okay, got to get into it. And I just want to help a lot of people get to this mindset because it starts in the mind. Like with a little bit of information and knowledge, you can take someone who's like probably earning minimum wage and give them some information. And then by next year, they are living the life that they wanted. Just that quick. I have done consultations with so many people and they were broke when I spoke to them, and a year later they're super paid just from a little bit of information, just from a few, you know, um, minutes on a phone call. Their lives totally changed because I think what most people don't tell you is that nobody cares. Nobody cares and the world ain't fair. What you gonna do about it? You gonna take care of what you want and accomplish what you want and do what you want no matter what? Or are you gonna sit there and complain? So, the world don't care. And they don't care. And they never will. Do you care enough about yourself to create the life you want? And you gotta teach your kids. Got to teach your kids how to create their lives, or else they're going to just live in the shadows and the leftovers of other people's creativity and create creations. That's exactly what you do when you work for somebody. When you work for somebody, you're creating their creation. You're working in their creation. You're not doing your own creation unless you're being inspired and getting experience to go and then create something for yourself. But if you never do that, all you are is an extra in someone else's movie, an extra in someone else's dream, and you are creating their life. And you are just getting the byproducts and the leftovers and the scraps for being a part of their creation. And see, they can't really create. A lot of people can't really create without you. You're already putting in work. You already getting up early. You already putting in work, but not for you. So it's not about being lazy. It's not about not being able to put in the work. It's not about not being disciplined, because you are disciplined to get a paycheck, but you're still creating someone else's dream. So you have everything that you need in order to create the life you want. You're just in the wrong order and with the wrong mindset behind it. That's it. There are people that have been on a job for 30 years faithfully, got up every day, went to work sick, rain, sleet, or snow. And, they really don't have a lot to show for it. They have nothing built. They have no legacy. They have nothing in their name. They have little recognition. They don't have anything to be proud of and tell their grandchildren and A, B, C, and D about. All they have is some retirement and some social security. So, and the person that they worked for has his company, his legacy, his stocks, his net worth, all that because of those employees that actually did all the work, but never thought that they could put in it and do it for themselves. They've been doing it for decades for others. So if you can work hard for other people and create their dreams, but don't think you can create your dreams, that's where the mindset must change. That's where it must change. I remember when I was a couple years younger, and the old school mentality is to get a job, get a job, get a job, get a job. Job was a bad word. It hurt my ears. Job was a terrible word. All I heard was be a slave, be a slave, be a slave. I didn't hear anything else. That's what I heard. It translated. My brain translated job with slavery. Be a slave, be a slave, be a slave. When someone tells you to get a job, get a job, get a job, especially when you don't like to work for other people, it's like saying, I don't have enough faith in you I don't have enough faith to think that you can build your own dream or build your own whatever. So I'm just going to go tell you to get a job. I will always tell my children to start their own business before I ever tell them to get a job. Make a job. Just change that word get to make, and you're on the right path. Get a job versus make a job. Okay. You can just change one word, and that changes your entire life. Change get to make. Okay. Start there. Make a job. I mean, ideas are endless. Opportunity is endless. There are so many things someone can do to earn a lot of money, more money than they're making on their regular job. They're just out there, just stuck in a box and can't think because they're so used to taking orders and being controlled. When you get out of that box, the ideas of creation flood into your mind. I promise you. You will be able to tell 20 people on how they can make money in one day and it actually work because you're not stifled and being controlled. Therefore, your eyes open and you see everything as an opportunity, or you see everything as a way to create. So, what if you don't have any ideas? You need to find some. It's not about ideas. It's about what do you have to work with. Look around your house. Play a game. Make it into a game. Like if it's not fun, you're not vibrating high, your brain is not activated, you're not gonna get information, you're not gonna get ideas if you're doing this wrong. Creation is fun. Okay. Go in a room and look around and make a challenge. You know how they have those challenges? Okay, here's some objects. Figure out 3 ways to make money using these objects. Make it a game, baby. Okay, I found some makeup and um, a calendar. Now, how can I make money with this? Well, let's see. I can do, I can do your makeup. I can sell the makeup. I can draw on the calendar with the lipstick and make it a funny calendar and then reprint it as a comedy. I could draw this and sell it as a watercolor painting. So it's just random stupid stuff that will get you your ideas. I could advertise this as, you know, never mind, I said for my other channel, Dusty Repellent. Because that's like a silver bullet for Dusties, but it's the golden bullet. Makeup, okay. So, just random stuff. Like, look, you see my little cup? This person made probably $20 on printing out a sticker on some vinyl sticker paper and sticking it on a mug. That type of stuff. You can go to like one of those Home Depot store, not Home Depot, or could be Home Depot or Office Depot, buy you some printer paper, print out some scripted monograms and sell it online for $20, $50, $10. Money right there from a printer and some paper. Thank you, Antoinette. Would putting spells on someone control or create? Putting spells on people, now, even though we can do that, if they are a creator, it's not really going to have too much effect, or not for too long anyway. So my thing is, if that's what you want to do it. But in all reality, if you can't create what you want and you have to, if you can't create it, you're going to be fighting with that situation and it's going to distract you from everything else. You're going to be focused on that one situation and keeping an eye on that situation. And, when you could be doing other things and prospering. When people get stuck on a certain person, they don't focus on themselves anymore and they stop creating for themselves. So my best thing is, if you have to keep that much control and an eye on a person, you're becoming a controller versus a creator. So if you can do the spell, forget it. If it work, it work. If it don't, it don't. Oh, well, then that's the best mindset to have. Right. Will there be more elixirs? Yeah, I'm sure there will. Like right now, um, the platinum and the gold fountain and the ethereal evolution elixirs is what the last things that came out. Hey, kitty. So you can check that out on my Etsy. hmm So, so you got to think bigger, okay? And you also got to think: is that already being done over and over? Is that done to death? You don't just take a popular idea. You take a unique idea, or you put a twist or a spin on the popular idea. Because so many people are so controlled, they don't even know how to create anymore. They don't even know how to come up with original ideas anymore. And they just do what the next person does instead of, I mean, you could do that, but you got to put your own twist on it. Got to put your own flavor on it. What's my favorite elixir? Phase one and phase two. Yeah. Um, because those are the phases that get you started and get those creative juices flowing for real. If you want to start being that type of creator and ideas just start flowing in, phase one and phase two is what did it for me. I mean, just amazing. Ask anybody who's been on them, like ideas, inspiration, energy, all start flowing in. It opens you up to a higher frequency. And that's where a lot of ideas are flowing in a higher frequency. When you're in a lower frequency, and you think about this, if you're in a lower frequency and you have great ideas, but in a lower frequency, you will never be able to execute those ideas in that low frequency anyway. So those ideas are up on a higher frequency when you're ready for them. And people that are on a higher frequency have changed their mindset in order to get that good information so it doesn't go to waste. Sometimes people can tap into it and then never do anything about it. And then the next day, somebody else is doing the same exact idea because it's up on that higher frequency. So when you have an idea, if you are not ready to execute it, don't say that. Write it down and work on how you're going to execute it. You know, um, come back to it later on. You know, put something else extra to it later on if somebody else has already done it. Improve upon what they've done. Just you have to just keep moving and not feeling discouraged. I've heard so many stories. Well, I had this $1 million idea. Well, $1 million idea doesn't go far with a bad mindset and a low frequency. So you might as well have never had it. So that's what we have to stop doing is I had. No, you still have that idea. If somebody already did it, see how you can improve upon it. You know? Um, while other people are out drinking, partying, smoking, you could be opening or working on a business or writing a book or organizing something and creating something or inventing something. You could be doing that. You know, how many endless nights have you drank, passed out, or smoked, passed out, or watched TV till you passed out, or you know, and that day didn't even count. So I think it's time for people to start using their free time to free themselves. That's what it's for, actually. Think about it. Free time is to free yourself. You only given a certain amount of time between work, school, kids, husband, wife, whatever. What you do at that time will either free you or trap you even more. So you have to think about it. What will I do with my free time today? Figure out how to make myself even more free. So just do that. If you have free time, you need to figure out how to free yourself even further and to get more free time. When you have all day and all night to think, imagine what you can accomplish then. Hmm. Why do people turn to spells when they always, when dealing with most high takes? Because we fell into a lower frequency and a lower dimension, and um, yeah, we forgot who we were. And I think, you know, the energy, our sacrifice is our time. You know, our sacrifice is our time and our investments. So in the modern day, our time is our sacrifice, you know, and what we sacrifice to tap into a higher frequency, to tune into the cosmos, is would equal a sacrifice, you know. If you know the science of the sacrifice and the blood and the plasma and all that stuff, then you understand what the sacrifice is. It's a message to the cosmos. But if you're already connected yourself, you can tap into it. You know you are the cosmos and you are not separate. Then you don't have to do any of that. But many people forgot and they used the rituals to keep the information alive. It's a physical representation of the mental, it's a physical representation of your uh, connection to the cosmos. So, right. So, symbolism, right. Symbolism and energy. That's all it is. A flowing thought is an energy, just like a flowing river of, of thought is a frequency and waves, and just like flowing veins of blood is a frequency and waves. Energies pick right up on it and they run with the information. It's the same thing. So, why are the 1 ounce elixirs all different prices? Because they do different things and they are marked different prices because they have different ingredients. So, some of them are more expensive because the ingredients are more abundant in some than others. Um, oh well. Y'all like my new calendar? Isn't it cute? Mm-hmm. It's a little mini calendar I got for 2020. So I did see the promote the trailer to the Pixar movie Soul. It's very good. Um, mhm. That's the cute calendar. Oh yeah. So I just want more people to free themselves. Like nobody's gonna free you. You got to free yourself. That's the whole point, to figure out how to free yourself. Even if it's like it doesn't matter. Like if you can get to a certain amount of freedom to get you to the next amount of freedom, to get you to the larger amount of freedom, that's good. It doesn't matter. Are you going to be free? You see it all the time in like rap videos and lyrics. They had to do what they had to do to get this money so they can get this, their freedom in order to pay for studio time to become a rapper and A, B, C, and D and blah 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 blah. So it's kind of like that. It's kind of like they didn't care. They were just taking steps to freedom. Thank you, Calvin. How long? Long time no see. Glad to see this channel still doing. How you been? Oh, thank you, Sprinkle Sprinkle. It's great. Happy New Year almost. Thanks for the donation. So we have people that will start, in different types of ways to free themselves. Some people will go and work hard and save their money. Some people will go strip on a pole. Some people will sell drugs. Some people will get a sugar daddy. Some people will get married. Some people will gamble. Some people will invest in the stock market. Some people will rob. But they're all looking for freedom. Some will get free and some won't. But the mindset is what needs to be in place in order for that plan to be followed through. Um, right. How do I feel about people always wanting to hex and put spells on others instead of working on self? I don't really care about people that always trying to do something. To me, what are you trying to do? I don't worry about other people. Okay, that's their life. That's what they got to create. I'm too busy creating my life to worry about other people. I don't need to look at what other people are doing. If that's what they like to do, let them do it. Maybe that's the life they created. Maybe they like doing spells. Maybe that's the life they created. Maybe they wanted a life where they had to do spells and hexes on people because they like doing it. You know, why are we thinking too hard about that? If that's what they enjoy doing, if that's what makes them smile and happy, if that's what give them their freedom, then so be it. You know, I don't discriminate. I don't look down on people. I just say, if that's the life you created for yourself and you are enjoying every second of it, more power to you. Right. If that's what you love, that's the joy in your life every day, then go for it because it can change, or it could stay the same. It could change as long as you're enjoying it and you are happy. Great, don't matter. You created that. That was you. Good for you. Thank you, Oracle Katrina. Can you touch on dark manifesting? Yeah, it's just becoming the cosmos, the darkness of the cosmos, and creating from dark energy into dark matter into physical matter. It's just a mental process of reminding yourself who and what you are and what your powers are. That's all that is. You can get my book called How to Manifest with Dark Energy. It's on Amazon, and I think the link is in the description box. How to Manifest with Dark Energy. It will give you examples, how to heal with it, and all that kind of good stuff. It's an ebook, so you can download it. Um, Dark energy is whatever. Dark energy is the cosmos. Dark energy is creator energy. Okay, it's what created. It's what is of creation. It's what matter eventually. It's what matter derived from. So yes. Hmm. What am I going to be doing in the new year? I'm going to be planning, enjoying, probably watching TV, writing down ideas and goals, you know, looking forward to what the year is going to unfold, what I create, new plans. See, there's a difference. Like, I plan, I don't have expectations. I have ideas, I have goals, I have visions, I have um, things in place that will get done. So, and if anything should, deter me off that course, I'll just get right back on it eventually anyway. So eventually we'll be done. I don't hope, I don't wish, I don't hope and I don't wish because all of that depends on me anyway. So it's kind of like I hope I do this, or I hope this happens. No, I hope I do this. Well, if I already wrote it down and I taken a couple of steps towards it, I might as well go all the way, right? So it's not about hoping and wishing and expecting. It's about putting stuff in place and walking forward. You know, I think a lot of people got messed up right here, especially in the spiritual community where they hope and wish and do spell work, but then just lay in a bed until noon and smoke weed all day and drink and go out and then ask why my stuff ain't happening, why my manifestation ain't coming true, why my spell work don't work, because you don't work. You don't work on the steps that you need to take in order for your manifestation to even be able to be maintained. You know, you will manifest something, but don't have the environment or the mental to even maintain it once it gets there. So, you know, it's kind of strange. Um, thank you. So, yeah, if you don't have what it takes to maintain what you're trying to manifest, then, you know, mm-mm. No one is coming to save you. That's right. Save yourself. Right. Hmm. A lot of people want but are not prepared. That's right. And most people don't know what they want. They just say something to be saying something. They don't even really truly understand what it is or what it takes to have it or get it or be it or whatever. They just heard to make good money. And then, a lot of people's goal is to go back to school and get into debt and to do this and to do that. Stay at school for 5 more years and still be broke for 5 more years. You are a school. And in your mind, your DNA, if you get your frequency up right, you can access all that information. You don't need, unless you're trying to do surgery on somebody, unless you're, doing something like that, you don't got to go back to school. That's just another excuse to stay broke and not doing nothing. So you got to get up and do something at the same time. Yeah. YouTube is a university. It sure is. Do you know that there's some people that just get online and learn how to do stuff and then start making money by doing it? You don't even have to go to school. People have watched videos and, oh, I can do that. And then did it, recorded it, and made money. Oh, I can do that. You know, that's what school is anyway. They got online school. So and where do they get their lesson plans from? Where did the teachers get their information from? The internet. Why is there internet in the school? Think about it. So if you're not going to be a surgeon or something like that, then where people's lives hang in your hand, then can't you just teach yourself? You're supposed to be this powerful cosmic, high frequency being, but you got to go sit in a classroom where someone is going to read you some lies and tell you to memorize it and then tell you to, okay, go out now, you should be able to make some money. That doesn't make any sense anymore. Okay, so when you realize this and you stop looking at a school system to create the life for you, then you get up and create it. Think about what was his name? Henry Ford. He didn't go to school. Okay, but he figured out how to get paid. I promise you. So he was the Bill Gates of his day, and they were trying to make him look foolish, trying to embarrass him by calling him in front of cameras and reporters and saying, well, you don't have an education, and trying to make him look dumb. And he said, no, but I can hire somebody who went to school and I can pay him to do my work. Okay, because you don't need that in order to tap into the cosmos. You don't need that in order to tap into a higher frequency of ideas. and create something on the next level. Okay. People got to go to school to figure out how to run your business. People got to go to school to figure out how to, get you your best deal on your taxes. Okay. Because you sat there and just tapped into an idea and went forward. Okay. Now people got to go to school to create and finish your creation and add to your creation, right? Just think opposite of what you were programmed to think, and you will free yourself. Okay. There are people standing in line trying to get jobs at these people businesses that created ideas and apps and stuff without ever stepping into a college. Okay. Because the frequency is there now and you could tap into it. You don't need a school anymore. Both my kids, they don't like school. They say, why do we have to go? Everybody's dumb. The teacher don't even know anything. I'm like, because it's the law. But you come home and you do what you need to do and continue on, you know, learning what you want to learn. Right. Because I don't like the way school teaches. They teach you to think inside the box, to get a job, and to work and listen and obey other people. I don't like it. Sorry, teachers, but they need to create a new way to teach if they really want to keep the education system going, because too many people are now homeschooling, going to online school, and starting their own businesses as teenagers and out earning their parents and the teachers, the so-called teachers at the school. Do y'all know how many teenagers out earn teachers? I mean, this is the truth. Mhm. There are people out earning teachers that aren't even in high school yet. Because they created the life that they want. Do y'all remember back in the old days and you were playing your video game? If your mom said, there's no jobs playing video games, so you better study. But now you see people on YouTube and gaming channels making millions of dollars just for playing video games. And that's the life they wanted to create, and they created it, and now they're living in it. So, um, think about what you love to do. Think about what you would actually do for free. That way, you'll never get off the path because you enjoy doing it, and you would do it in your spare time because that's what you enjoy. And if that is combined with working towards freeing yourself and starting your business or whatever, coming up with your idea, you're going to do it eventually. It's going to happen because that's what your passion is. You know, yeah, you can work a regular job and, put some money towards, this and that. But your main goal is to free yourself eventually so you don't have to work that job. That job is to just pay, your living expenses until your idea takes off. That's what it is. That's all it is. You're only supposed to be a temporary worker for someone else's creation until you're tapping into the ideas and starting your creation. You shouldn't stay creating someone else's creation and never yours. You know, you're supposed to hop off at some point and go do your own thing. So, it is easier said than done, but guess what? When it's done, it's easier. It's easiest when it's done. So it is easier said than done, but it's easier when it's done. And you ain't got to get up early, ask somebody, can I go to the bathroom, boss? Can I take tomorrow off, boss? My kid is having a program at school, and oh, my kid is sick. I gotta stay home today. Can I stay home? Can I take care of my own child, please? XOXO, thank you, girl. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So, you know, to me, that right there would give me enough to push me to that next level. When you got to beg somebody to take off work to take care of your own child, that's something is wrong with that. So, mhm, I would be like, okay, I'll go to work. I'll learn how to do what you want me to do, but then I'm gonna go do it for myself. I'll be a consultant. I'm going to work for the competition as a consultant. See, I'm not staying with your job. I'm not loyal to something that's not my own creation. Okay. You fire me tomorrow, I'm going to work for your competition the very next day. Okay. Until I find my own creation. So they teach you all these things to keep you in line, to keep you controlled. Oh, you got to be loyal to your company. Oh, you got to call in. You know, you got to work hard. And then one day, one day, you're going to go work for the competition and sell them the ideas. And Mhm. So whatever. As soon as that interviewer sees that you work for their competition, guess who's hired? You're hired. Don't tell them nothing on the interview. Mm-mm. Be like, oh, well, that's yet to be discussed. They just gonna hire you to get that information with the salary that you desire, which is gonna be higher than the job you left. And you can stack your money, invest it, and build your own dreams on the side until you make enough money to leave that job entirely. Okay. So y'all got to think smart. You know, when corporate, when the corporate make decisions to lay off a bunch of people, they don't care about you or your loyalty. It's numbers, baby. Are they going to make their numbers? Are they going to get their vacation? Are they going to get their yacht? Are they going to get their bonus? They don't care about you. Why do you care so much about them? They don't care. And it's not your loyalty to someone else's dream, it's your loyalty to yourself that is the most important. If you give up the loyalty for yourself and creating the life for yourself and your children and your future generations over some stupid job, that's wrong. So that's why I say a lot of people think backwards and they train you to think backwards in school. That's where it starts. Oh, you got to be loyal. You got to be good. You got to be all. You got to do this. That's not right. Da, 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 da. You got to. So they teach you that, and then when you get to the workplace, oh, I got to be loyal. I got to call in. I got to make sure I'm there on time. I got to show up. I got to work extra hard. I got to build this company. I got to build these numbers. I got to I got to work hard so that I don't get fired. A, B, C, and D. Then as soon as some numbers come in, or somebody sells the company or wants a new yacht, so they sell the company, there goes your job. And they go and hire somebody to fire you or to let you go. So live for yourself, create the life you want. You can work on someone else's creation for a little bit, but start your own at the same time. Be working on both at the same time. So eventually one will take over and you can let that other one go. And this is really what people are supposed to be doing. Like, you're not supposed to just work for someone else's creation. If you're a cosmic being, if you're a cosmic creator, you're not supposed to work in someone else's universe when you can create your own. You're not supposed to work in somebody else's world when you can create a world. Y'all remember Genesis in the beginning. You know, don't you want your Genesis? Do you want your creation? You want to experience life through experiencing your world through your creations. Um, mhm. People look down on people who get laid off. I look down on anyone who, you know, who I look down on, and I'm gonna tell you who I truly look down on. People that don't want you to think for yourself. Anyone who doesn't want you to think for yourself, I look down on because I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep you working in their creation and not realizing your potential so that you can go and do better or do anything else. But they just want to keep you working on their creation because you're making them more profits. So, anyone who does not want you to think for yourself, side eye. Hmm. Dollars to donuts. Hey, donuts are everywhere. I'm serious. I went to the store, there's donuts. Watch cartoons, there's donuts. Watch that movie Little with the girl was bullied and then she grew up to own her own company and then this little girl waved a magic wand in front of a donut truck that her dad owned and turned her back into a little girl. Have y'all seen that movie Little? It's on cable. Um there was donuts in that movie. Um Steven Universe, they always go into the donut shop. It's like donuts, Christmas ornaments everywhere this year. I don't know. They're just everywhere popping up now. So donuts represent the fourth dimensional shift into 4 and 5D and the earth. So we're going into that new multi-dimensional universe where we are able to create those type of lives that we want. So 2020 is about creating your life. 2020 vision, perfectly. You see perfect. When you see perfect, you can what? What can you do when you can see? You can observe. When you see perfect, your brain, two eyes, you know what to do. You can see everything and see it for what it is. There's no doubt. There's no fog. There's nothing in your way or view. You can see perfectly. And then you add the two, you got the four, you know, for that fourth dimension. Okay. We're able to create our lives there. We've got the hypersphere now, worlds within worlds. Each one of us can create the world we desire. But we have to know that we are able to be creators and not have any doubts. We got to have that 2020 vision and we have to know who we are. We have to create instead of create for others. We have to create instead of being controlled. Once you stop being controlled, you are going to start creating. Promise you. You ever notice how the most free people are the most creative people? The people that don't get up and work for people are the most creative people. So, am I making business decisions like this? Um, Business decisions. I'm a woman. I have intuition. Um, I don't create anything that is not beneficial to me or my kids. So, whatever decisions I make it work because I'm creating it. It's kind of like lucid dreaming. Whatever you dream, whatever decisions you make in your dream is going to create the next scene. And what are you creating? So, yeah, I make my business decisions based on ideas. All right. Like dreams, visions, a lot of those things are just frequencies that are popping into um, your mental and showing you what you can create or what you can do next and what you need to focus on. So I had a weird vision pop into my head. I saw like a prehistoric, you know how like in the prehistoric movies they show like Neanderthal or different types of hominids or humanoid beings before the humans that we have today, Homo sapiens. I s- I had a vision of one eating a mushroom and evolving through their diets. Like it's probably true. I don't think I've ever read that, but I just had like this weird vision in my head of one eating a mushroom and like being smart, like in a few weeks or days, like um, that injection on the Planet of the Apes movie, or that potion that Gremlin took on Gremlins 2. It like made them real smart in like a couple of days. I think the evolution of people is based on diet, frequency, and also the ability to adapt. So you said Super Mario Brothers, right? That is it. I was gonna decode Super Mario Brothers, but got it's funny because it can be decoded. hmm I don't do any drugs. I don't like do shrooms or nothing. But that's just the vision that I saw. I just saw that's what probably helped or could have helped evolution of the brain and the mental and the consciousness. You said it was CBD, you will? Yep, could be. hmm Aside from donuts, unicorns are everywhere. What's symbolism in that? Becoming one, uni, becoming one. Um, being one. I mean, think of all the symbols that come out like every year. I think I first started talking about it with the owls. Do y'all remember like in 2015 and 16, the owls were really big, the watchers? Thank you, Andy D. I manifested a job, home, and other things by visualizing, writing before sleep. You are speaking facts. People start to move in your favor. That's right. That's so true. I would. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything at all, but it works too. Right. So it works. It doesn't hurt anything, and so it was owls. Then after that, what was it? What was after owls? Mermaids, llamas, um, sloths, stuff like that, right? Then here comes the rainbows and the unicorns, and yep, 5G more. You saw ghosts because of the 5G. That's true. It harnesses energy. Its souls and spirits are energies. Dolphins, right? Um, Thank you, Amber. How do you overcome negative thoughts and doubt, Lovey? Thank you, Sprinkle Sprinkle. Remember that you are the universe. Why would the universe doubt itself? Just stop and think you're not a person. You are not this body. The circumstance is temporary and you can create something different. Think of that first. If you are connected to the cosmos and you're part of the cosmos, why would you doubt yourself? You know, that doesn't make any sense. That is the confusion, to doubt yourself. If you fail, you fail. You still created that scene. It's still a clip in your movie. People are still going to watch your movie. You know what I'm saying? And the next time you attempt it or try it and you're better at it, they see your growth. They see you become the greater version of yourself through trial and error. And also, doubt is for your lower self, not when you come into, realization of who and what you are. So you have to think of it like that. Like whenever you have negative thoughts, that's your lower self, not realizing their potential. So, mhm. You overcame negative thoughts by giving up meat. I overcame negative thoughts by not caring. Okay, like I don't care. Like I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I think when you get to a certain point and you watch a lot of your manifestations and creation come to past, your your self-doubt goes away. So the more you manifest, the more you practice thinking positive and doing things towards your own creation, the less you doubt yourself. You don't have time to sit there and doubt yourself. You're too busy trying to figure out how to get to the next level. You know what I'm saying? If you're too busy to doubt yourself, then why you wouldn't have you? If you're too busy executing and creating your life, you won't have time to doubt yourself. You just won't. Like whenever I start having an idea or maybe a business idea, I don't stop to think, oh, what if this doesn't work? I don't have time to stop and think, what if it don't work? Because I'm too busy working on it. So it's going to work, you see? So that's how you have to think. I don't have the time to sit and say, oh, this is not going to work because I'm too busy working on it. So it is working. Okay. That's how you got to think. You've been having more surges of euphoria, a feeling where I tense up and vibrate, and you got to focus that energy on something. You got to create something. That's creation energy, not having a place to go. What are you doing? You got to create. Draw a picture, sing a song, uh, you know, design an outfit, color a coloring book, something you have to create. That's your creative energy flowing through you, trying to bring you to your higher self, but you don't have anything in place in order. I don't know if you do or not. I'm just saying in general. When this happens, you don't have anything in place for that energy to be conductive of. You don't have anything in place where that energy can be of most use. So you got to get to doing something. Got to be starting something, like Michael Jackson said. So got to start being creative. Okay. Um, how does one overcome anxiety? Treading where you've never went before. If you are the universe, you're everywhere already, baby. You already been there and done that. You just forgot. Um, you're just recreating a scene in a different environment with different actors and different people. Y'all know it's just like the Hallmark Christmas movies. It's the same movie with different scenes, different people, different small town, different big city girl comes to small town, falls in love, wants to go back to the city, but gets sucked back into the small town because she found a man. Every Hallmark movie is the same. They've already done it before. They're just using different actors. Okay, y'all know it's true. Same Hallmark movie. You watch one Hallmark movie, you watch them all. So you don't have anxiety of the unknown. You have anxiety because you don't remember. You don't know who you are. You don't realize you are everything. You've done everything and you're doing it again. You're experiencing yourself through this creation. That's it. So there's nothing to have anxiety about when you already know that you created it. Mhm. I would just expend that energy and plan something. I always told people that have anxiety to get a planner and plan out your day. That alleviates a few um, things that contribute to anxiety, like of not knowing the unknown. If you know what your day brings, then there is no unknown to that day. If you planned it and prepared for it mentally and researched the whatever unknown that you're going into, it's not going to have as much anxiety behind it. So I always get um, not knowing something, fearing the unknown, fearing of what your life is going to bring, fearing failure and not knowing what to do and when to do it and how to do it. It's not the goal. The goal is to just keep going because you're going to have to do it anyway. You know why have anxiety? You're going to have to do it anyway. Hmm. And that energy is pushing you to create, to plan, to create. To plan is to create. You don't have to plan something, that's already structured. You can plan it your way. You can create your own plan. you know. So there's no anxiety. Oh, today I'm going to run around my apartment in 3 circles. Oh, that sounds interesting. But I'm an artist, so I'm going to put a sheet on the floor and I'm going to run around in dollar store flip flops in different color paints. And then I'm going to sell it for $8,000. That's how the artists think, and, that create works like that. So there's no anxiety behind that if that's what you plan to do. They don't think about, oh, I'm not going to sell this painting for $8,000. They don't even know the price of the painting. They don't have anxiety of, oh, I'm not going to be able to make money off of this. No, they're in the moment having fun, creating, doing whatever they want to do. And their confident level and their creative level is up on a high frequency. So when they hang their stuff in a gallery and someone sees it, that energy is then transferred in that painting, and people will gravitate towards that energy because that's an energy that a lot of people lack. So a lot of people invest in art because it creates a frequency in your home of freedom and a creation energy. A lot of people wonder why art is so expensive. That's why, because it is a frequency. So artists, they live in their creation. They are their creation. They don't think about the stuff that we do every day, when we get up and go work for somebody else. They think about the feeling that they're in at that given moment in time. They're on a frequency, and that's what they're creating. So, mhm. Thank you for that. Art was not important to my family growing up because it was about survival. That's true. But what is the first thing that they give you as a kid to keep you busy? Some crayons and a coloring book, a pen and a paper, right? Why? Why do they give you something to keep you busy? What keeps you busy as a child? Creation. Now they give you a phone. So instead of creation, they give you a program now. If you're giving your kid a phone, you should give them an art app or something where they can create and not be programmed, at least, because a lot of people lack creativity because they've been programmed instead of being allowed to create. Mhm. What do you do when your manifestations don't bring you full satisfaction when beating yourself up for feeling ungrateful? You just a whole ball of self confusion right there. Look, I'll break it down to you. First of all, satisfaction. That's one word, and feeling ungrateful and beating yourself up. Okay, so here's the thing: your frequency will determine the amount of satisfaction you receive from your manifestation. I'll repeat that: your frequency, your mental state, your ability to maintain, your ability to accept whatever you've manifested determines on how you feel about it and whether you're satisfied or not. Okay. So let's just say I manifested a new car. I need a new car. I want to manifest a new car. And I get some piece of junk, but it's new to me and it's a car. Oh man, I'm mad. I manifested a piece of junk. No, you manifested a car. You did good. Most people can't manifest a bike. So feel good about what you've done and do it again. Okay. It's like practice, like in Harry Potter. They didn't get it right on the first time, but they felt proud that they got something to work. Feel proud. It's not something that you're going to get um, exactly how you envisioned it on the first try. You got to keep going. You got to build your confidence, not bring it back down. You should be excited. Oh my God, look what I did. I manifested it. It's not on the level that I thought, but look, wow, I'm good. There, that's how you build your confidence and get rid of self doubt. You don't beat yourself up because you're going backwards. You're going all the way back to square one, thinking you can't do anything right at all. So, congratulate yourself on anything that you actually manifested, whether it's up to that standard that you wanted it to or not. You still did it. That means do it again and it'll probably be better. You manifested a car and you got it stressful. You got to be specific then. This is lessons. These are lessons to be more specific or more general, you know. Be more broad, narrow it, be broad, have an audition for your manifestations. That's what I always say. A lot of people they try to manifest the perfect mate or the perfect car. How about manifest something in general so that you have more than one choice to narrow it down yourself. So I'm going to manifest the perfect man. He's going to have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, all the way to Z. Okay. That's going to be hard to exactly manifest. So instead say, I'm going to manifest a man that has four qualities and they have to have these qualities and then I'll narrow them down. So you got 20 men and all of them have these four qualities and they're like, oh hi, popping up in your DMs. Oh hi, oh hi. Okay, so no, no, no. So you narrow it down yourself. You're auditioning your manifestations, and so then you're satisfied with the result. So either too broad or too specific. That could be your problem. Mhm. You should dream of fireworks because I feel a lot of us will think about you. That's funny. Because if it wasn't you, melt what? Okay, y'all having a conversation within the conversation. How you organize your thoughts and belief systems. I'm trying to document what I'm thinking more, but find it hard to catch up with thoughts. Um, I just keep going, you know. What what if that belief was taking you to the next thing and you stay stuck on it? You gotta keep moving. You gotta keep growing. That belief may have led you to this information, may have led you to the next information. You don't get stuck on something, you keep growing with it. You keep growing. Everything is to lead you to the next level, not to stay stuck there analyzing it. After you decode it, it points you to the next direction. So that's why I decode things, because it points you in the next direction. Hold on. So just like, a lot of people start in religion and they end up in other types of spirituality because the religion led them to that. There's code in religious texts. There's questions to be asked that lead you to the next level. They wouldn't leave blank spots or mystery in something if you weren't supposed to ask a question. So it's, what question are you asking? So no need to document and write down one form of spirituality because it could change next week, you know, because you're continuously growing. Spirituality is not a set thing. It is a ongoing, living thing that keeps evolving as you evolve. So you're never gonna 100% be a certain spirituality because you are energy, you are a soul, you are a spirit, you are all of that. So how can you be something that is limited? You can't. So just as vast as the cosmos is, that's how vast your spirituality is. What does it mean when you dream about celebrities? Decode their names. Whenever you dream about a specific person, decode their name. Um, what do you do when you feel an outside force or group of entities is making you forget that you're magical and that you are source energy, almost as if things outside of you try to stupefy you? Well, you be like a bag lady, like I am, and keep books on you. I always got these books in my purse, my pockets. I'm always on Google researching. I'm always reading something. I'm always decoding something. You got to stay on a frequency so that you could always remember. Okay. You got to always keep things around you to pull you right back to that frequency. So, I always have books around me. I always have something that I'm researching or decoding because as long as I'm doing that, I know who I am and I know what I'm doing. It's easy to get caught up in other people making you feel like this and that because that's their reality. But as soon as you say something crazy, they look at you weird and they're like, That's how you know you back on track." Okay. How does alchemy correlate to manifestation? Alchemy is creating your higher self, or um, taking the least and making it into the most, taking uh, lead and turning it into gold, taking your uh, self and turning it into what you want to become, taking your life Taking lemons and turning it into lemonade, baby. That's what alchemy is. Working with what you have to get what you want. Working with a negative to create profit. Okay, to create positive. The dung beetle is a perfect example of creation and alchemy and manifestation. They roll dung or poop into a perfect circle. They create out of um, the least. Okay. Mm. So when did you begin lucid dreaming and what was it like? It was like being able to control your dream and what happens next while you're in it. It would be like having magical powers in this world. That's basically what it was. If someone was falling and you didn't want them to fall, you could automatically make a air mattress appear and catch them. If aliens were chasing you, you could turn around and blow, and then they would start floating in the air and floating away. Um, if you were falling off of a cliff and you didn't want to die, you could black out and wake up in a hospital like in the movies. That's what lucid dreaming is. So it's being able to control the outcome and what's next in your dream as the director, as the writer, as creator. Whatever's happening to you, you have the ability to change it, turn it around, and put it in your favor. So I think lucid dreams are telling us that we have the power to control our own world and create it, but we just don't realize it until we're forced into that position. You know, that's why a lot of people have nightmares because it's forcing you to lucid dream, forcing you to change it. Whenever something starts getting really bad and I can't catch a break and I just keep having bad luck, that is your lucid dream trying to force that is your dream trying to force you to take control of your own life and start creating it. Okay. So real life lucid dream is just bad stuff happening and you can't or you don't choose to do anything about it. So you're having a bad lucid dream when nothing is going right and you're just wonder, woe is me, I don't know what to do. Take control, like in the Matrix when Neo said like this and those bullets dropped. That was the lucid dream. That's when he started controlling it. So that's what it has to come to. He was tired of running. I'm tired of running in your dream. I'm tired of running from whatever's chasing me in dream. I'm tired of this nightmare in my dream. So you know what? I'm gonna turn around and just face it. And when you turn around, you decide, okay, oh wow, I'm gonna choose to do this. Oh my gosh, look what I did. I controlled it and I defeated my problem. And now I can create in this dream. Oh my gosh, this is too much power for me to even fathom because I've never been able to create on this level before. And so you wake up. That's a lucid dream. That's what a lucid dream is like. I had a dream where the sky was dark and the clouds and the sky looked digital. Cool. So, that's what it will be like to lucid dream, as if you had magical powers. Okay. So, Sasha said that, hold on. What do you think about blue pill versus red pill, the illusion of choice, because the one was the reflection of Morpheus' sunglasses? I was just getting ready to talk about the mirror. That's so cool that you asked that. Sasha said that she heard that if you are dreaming and you go find a mirror within your dream and look at your own reflection, you'll see. What was it, Sasha? Sasha,
Yes.
what did you say about the mirror in your dream? If you look into it, you'll see what?
Like if you look in a mirror and say, "Am I dreaming?"
Uh-huh.
And then you turn like see your reflection, but as something weird, and yeah, that's how you know you're
What will
dreaming.
that reflection mean? Like how you see yourself?
Yes. And this person did it, and guess what? They saw themselves as
What?
a dog. You know what type of person that was?
Bye, Sasha.
I saw myself a weird dog.
Anyway, crazy. So, Sasha said she did that exercise in her dream, and she saw herself as Donald Trump in fishnet stockings. So basically, what she said is, it's going to show you your reflection. Okay. I dreamed there was light entering my body. I wasn't fully asleep. I heard 5-year-old and my cat in the same room. What does this mean? Could have been your astral body projecting or going back into itself or leaving or something like that. So, yep. Could be a sweet dream or a beautiful nightmare. Beyonce. So, what will your dream be? Do you want to wake up? Are you tired of dreaming? What is it? I know some people are tired of dreaming. How do you have more dream? Before you go to sleep, tell yourself you want to dream. I'm going to dream tonight. Until you do. Usually it only takes 1 or 2 times. Because you create your reality. So if you tell yourself, I want to dream, I'm going to dream tonight, you will. I'm just starting this wild journey. Where should I start and how and with what? Um, I mean, like most people start with law of attraction, universal law, learning those things and understanding that all is mental. You create the life you have by your thoughts and your actions, and you create your own world. I would start there, right? Taking responsibility for everything and going from there. Because a lot of people look for, excuses, and they play victim to their circumstance when they are the creator, and they can create their way out of that circumstance just as you know they should be doing. Sprinkle, sprinkle some. When you're stuck somewhere, remember you can create your way out. You just have to sit there and figure it out. You got to think, what can I use? What do I have that I can use to create my way out of the situation that I'm in? What can I do? So I always tell people like that tell me they don't know what they want, they don't know what they want to do, they don't know what they want to manifest, they don't know how they want to create their life, they don't know what business to start, they don't know how to create, and earn money for themselves. I say, well, lock yourself in a room, you get you a piece of paper or a little journal and write down. Don't come out of that room until you figured out how to make some money on your own with what you already have today. They'll get real creative. They want to eat or come out of that room. Thank you, Destiny. My aunt had a dream I was pregnant with Then I dreamt of a lady giving birth to triplets. She was very scared of the process. What does this mean? Sprinkle, sprinkle. I don't really do dream interpretations, but you all you got to do is go and look up the symbolic meaning of pregnancy, birth, and triplets. So the number three, go research that. Go birth and pregnant. So a lot of times pregnancy is an idea. You're pregnant with an idea. Giving birth is, creating that idea or executing that idea. And the three or the triplets is um, the idea unfolding and manifesting mind, body, and soul. So that's how I would interpret that. Most people want to interpret it in a different way, but that's how I would interpret it. Anything that gives birth represents creation. So maybe you are about to create something um, and get triple profit. Okay. hmm So that's how I would have decoded that dream. And if you're afraid of that process, if you're afraid of pregnancy, that's what your mind is going to use to get your attention, you know, to face it and, you know, you woke up from that dream and got a new client. All right, then that's what it meant, probably. Destiny. That was your destiny. um, mhm. You're a Pisces, and all my life I've been feeling people out and anticipating their thoughts. I've forgotten who I am. How do I bring the focus back and ignore what? Get by yourself. That's how. Like honestly, get alone. Become a hermit for a good couple of months. If you're constantly battling what people think and how you come off to certain people, shut your mouth and get alone. Don't spend any extra time with other people until you have built up your strength within and who you are. Then go back out. And no one will be able to budge you. I promise you. You ever seen an old hermit or someone that spends a lot of time alone and they get in a crowd? That crowd cannot budge that person. That crowd cannot influence that person because they spent so much time by themselves. They know who they are, and nothing can come to change them if unless they want it to. Okay, so spend more time alone. Know thyself, and you know, understand who you are. And when you get around other people, their opinions will bounce right off of you, and you will not care what's coming out of their mouth, what they think, because you have spent more time with yourself than you have with this person who barely knows who you are. So obviously their opinion cannot be the truth. Okay? That's the best way for me to look at it. Like you don't know me, you have no idea, you know. So spend more time alone and you will never have that problem. you know. Think about this. I spend a lot of time alone besides my kids. They don't account for like the outside world. So I spend a lot of time alone, especially when they're at school. And I really know and feel and spend a lot of time with myself. So someone that's coming from the outside with an opinion or someone who's suggesting something, I'm going to listen. But if it does not, resonate with me, I dismiss it. Poof. Okay. Thanks for sharing. Next. I don't let it deter me. I don't let it change my course. I don't let it make me doubt myself because I know who I am. So spend more time alone. When you have knowledge of self, no one's opinions can move you. Exactly. They can't, just can't. Mhm. So I suggest like a lot of young people, they're thrust into social groups at school and the workplace, and so they value the opinions of others more than they value their own, thought about self. So that's why you gotta be alone sometimes. Take a whole day just to be alone sometimes, especially if you're young. Right. Um, how to become mentally tough and fearless. Spend time alone, baby. um, don't care what people think. I just know thyself. You're in college and have no friends. That's a good thing. Right. Show us your moneymaker. Here it is right here. My moneymaker. Shake your moneymaker. My head. Um, Google. That's how you decode people's name. Google. Type the name in and then name meaning. How do divine beings forget who we are? Because someone has been telling them that there's someone else. Just like if you were knocked out, you woke up and someone told you your name was Felix, and everybody kept calling you Felix. Hey Felix, how you doing, Felix? How you doing, Felix? You've been called Felix so long you don't remember your name. You know, so you start answering to Felix. Somebody say Felix, you like, huh? Okay, it's a trick. Until one day you stop listening to people and you start thinking and you go within your mind and you remember, or something in you says this is not right, something is off, and you start doing some research until you figure out who you really are. So that's how. Okay. Gotta remember, go back into self and start asking the questions. Okay. That's how. How do you use remote viewing to manifest? um I don't know. I mean, you can manifest without even doing that. You can manifest. Remote viewing is more, if you watch that movie Doctor Strange, how he would learn and study while he was asleep. He would be like his astral body would be traveling and doing stuff and reading books. So it's a way to multitask. It's a way for you to multitask in this in spirit, in the spiritual realm. I do that. Like some people go when they sleep, they go and learn and get information, and then they come back when they wake up and uh, they use that information that they learn in the real world, and they get you know what they want. They come to different conclusions. Okay, and information that they would have never gotten before. Hmm. You can remote view yourself in your dream house too. What is your opinion on network marketing? I mean, if it's making you money, do it. Kitty, she's trying to cough up a hairball. Ew. Kitty, are you okay? No. Come on, come on. Need some water. So, how do I go learn when sleeping? Is there a book? Oh no, you go to a different realm. You tap into a different frequency, and there's um, information, people talking. Sometimes there's a physical guide teacher that's telling you something. Sometimes you're just seeing a vision that's teaching you. So it's different. Mhm. Should I think I'm superior to others? If you're the all and you are the cosmos, then how's the cosmos superior to the cosmos? You know, I think if all people knew who they were, there would be no superiority complex. There would only be a knowing of self. I think the only time superiority comes in is when someone knows themselves and the other one doesn't. Then that creates a division of um, frequency and knowledge. Hmm. If you think you're a right, right. That's what I. How can we deal with Egyptian men or Middle Eastern men? I don't deal with them how you want to deal with them. I don't know. I don't think that's the question for this channel, darling. Why should women submit to her equal 50-50? What? Um, Sometimes there's not um 50-50 equal submission or whatever. It's like another part of another object. A puzzle piece doesn't submit to the other puzzle piece. They fit together to work as one. So I don't see that being 50-50 is a puzzle piece's choice. It's just this puzzle is this and that puzzle piece is that. And they fit together to make this. So I don't see anything about submission. You lay down first, puzzle piece. You sit, you got to be down 1st. Then I'm gonna put myself into you. Okay. Well, no, you lay down, and then I'll work myself over you. I mean, that's the same thing as intercourse, but they both fit into a space, and they both create the bigger picture. So I'm not saying that anyone has to submit or be 50-50. It's part of a bigger picture, you know. Mhm. Can you please make a list of books you absolutely recommend? I've done that so many times. Just study universal law, read the Kabbalion, Complete Idiot's Guide to Alchemy, any book on symbols and signs. That's your start. Learn quantum physics in minutes. There's one page per lesson. Anybody can do that. But universal law is first. Learn that. Stephanie Rudolph, thank you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Any occult teachers you like? Bobby Hemmett. I like anybody who's spreading knowledge if it's something that I can benefit from and, deepen my understanding. Uh, so I like all occult teachers. There's some that I don't agree with 100%, but you can always take knowledge and apply it and make sense of it in your own way and take what you need. So, anybody that has anything to offer knowledge wise, you know, is good. You can learn from anybody. Mhm. Um, my thing is everyone has a different path, and some people focus more on one thing rather than something else. So, um, sometimes, there's a lot of male occult teachers, and their focus is on something totally different than mine would be because I'm not a male. Um, and so I feel that the way that I perceive things and tell people things, on my videos is a little bit different. It's a lot of the same information, but it's focused in a different direction. Hmm. Oh, I love Emerald Tablets. Book of Enoch. Yes, that one too. Um, but I'll tell you who my favorites are. I like Dr. Blair. He was the most accurate information giving, cut to the chase, no BS and stuff surrounding his information. Like uh, with a lot of occultists, you have to sit there and listen to jibber jabber, um, you know, stuff that you don't really care about, um, all that. I like to get straight to the point. That's me. I don't like wasting time. I like getting the information and being able to apply it without having to sift through BS, or not really BS. I'm calling it BS because I'm just saying without having to sift through the stuff that is not about the information. Um, mhm. That's what I'm manifesting, a husband that provides. You better manifest a boyfriend first. You gonna manifest somebody else's husband. Wording is very important. Watch Aladdin. Mhm. Why do married men keep why do married men keep approaching me? Because you manifesting a husband, baby. Somebody else's husband. You could manifest a boyfriend, darling. Um Dr. Blair. Oh yeah, he's like his videos are all over YouTube. Just go research. Delbert Blair, Dr. Delbert Blair. Also, I didn't really discover him till last year. I mean, maybe 2 years ago, but I'm so glad I did. Mhm. Um, because women think it's a big ego boost to sleep with somebody else's husband, it's like an emotional tie. No, it's not. you know, Women don't care if it's somebody else's husband. Some women won't even sleep with someone else's husband, and some will. It's free will. If they're benefiting from the entire situation, then that's what they're doing. Um, that husband is out there sleeping with other people besides his wife, so we're not going to blame the women on that one. The women ain't in no marriage. The man is at the marriage. So If he decides to stray from his vows, then that's what he decided to do. Married men are always on the prowl, someone says. Uh-huh. Right. It's not about judgment, it's about the motivation. Sure, what does it really mean to be a 33rd degree Mason? It means they missing a bunch of other numbers because that's as far as they can get in that form. Um, Honestly, there are higher degrees than that in the spiritual realm. That's just the earthly realm. So, I mean, there are people that are Freemasons and da 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 da, and then there are people that never was part of any type of organization or association that know what they know and more naturally. Why? Because they're above 33rd degree, spiritually and mentally. They channel it. That knowledge is already in their DNA, and they just access it. So, um, do I think married men who cheat will always cheat? I think people gonna do what they gonna do if they want to do it. I mean, I don't try to sit here and control people. I just understand that whatever I want, I will create. Worry about your own self and your own creation. What type of life do you want to create? Do you want to create a life where you're worrying about somebody doing this, this, and that, or do you want to create a life where you're doing exactly what you want to be doing? Think like that. So I don't base my reality or my happiness on another person's actions. I'm basing it on what I'm creating every day in my own life. You know what I mean? So focus on that. It's like you're not going to be able to change what this person over here is going to do. All you're going to be able to do is change your reality and what you are wanting to do. Okay. Um, you said you're worried if bills are paid and I'm taken care of. LOL, right? Now, you know, a lot of women ask me these questions about cheating husbands and stuff like. If you married that man based on certain things, you know, there has always been red flags. You want to ignore people want to ignore red flags just to get the ring, just to be married, and they want to be mad later on. But you saw everything that you saw with your own eyes before. So do you really, right? Do you really think that just because someone's cheating before that they're not going to cheat again? I mean, there's a reason why they may not cheat again. They may not be able to cheat again physically, you know. So you can't control what someone else is going to do. All you can do is control your emotion and your frequency and how you feel about it and how you create your life with that information and how you benefit and profit off of it. That's all you can do. Think about it. So if worrying about it doesn't bring you money, then don't do it. If worrying about it doesn't bring you happiness or joy, then don't do it. If it ain't bringing you anything positive, then skip it. Okay. We are created in the image of God. Yes. Um, have I seen Goku by Jaden Smith? No. I'll check it out. hmm If my personality was as pretty as your lips, you'd be a force. I'm already a force. Okay. How you doing? Do you script to manifest, Ashira? I manifest in so many different ways. Um, I script, I cut out pictures, I make journals, I close my eyes, I go into the darkness, I do the dark energy method. Um, there's so many different ways to manifest. Just whichever way you decide to do it, have fun. You know, the more creative, the better. Um, how am I called? But most of my teachings are based in biblical principle because the Bible is decoded with occult knowledge and hermetic knowledge. It's written with code words to decode, and it translates into occult knowledge, also science. So the Bible is it's kind of like a cover story. You know, it's kind of like when the military has secret words to put out messages like the marigolds are in the field. You know, that's what the Bible is. It's code. So you're reading the Bible story and understanding it from this perspective, and someone else hears it and they are decoding it and understanding what it's really trying to tell you, and it's giving off science, quantum physics, it's giving off hermetics, it's giving off a lot of stuff that you're not getting by just reading it in its literal text. So you have to have a vast understanding of the occult to even decode the Bible in the first place. So I had to have a vast, you know, amount of occult knowledge to even be able to decode the Bible. You can't decode the Bible without occult knowledge. You just can't. You can't decode the Bible without knowing science, alchemy, quantum physics, electromagnetic spectrum. You can't decode the Bible at all without that. So the reason that I focus on biblical things is because that is what a lot of people have been asking me. Can you decode the Bible? What does this mean in the Bible? Why is Kanye West talking about this, and that? Because Kanye West is speaking in code. He's not a saved, reborn again Bible thumper. He's using the Bible to put out coded information of what's going on and what is to come. So, in order to even understand the Bible, you have to be very knowledgeable in occult knowledge. Not understanding it on a way to interpret this and thou, but thou art and all that kind of stuff. No, interpreting the exact meaning of something. Hmm. Okay. Who were the ones that the angels in the book of Enoch defiled? The daughters of men. Who? Yeah, the daughters of man. The daughters of man. Think about that. They mated with women. Mhm, and created children with them. Um, so this is metaphor as well. Okay, so just think about you're on a certain frequency. This is science. If you're on a certain frequency, you're let's say you're an angelic or a fallen angel, and your frequency is very high, and you have to lower your frequency to come to the earth, or you have to change your appearance. You have to devolve from this certain type of energy into a lower form of energy in order to defile the daughters of man. So even though you're in a lower frequency, you still have a different DNA, you still have a different frequency as well. It's not the same as this daughter of man's frequency. So when you procreate and make a child, that child's frequency, that child's blood type, that child's brain, that child's ability to understand, that child's level of consciousness is going to be giant compared to a regular human born baby that's not of an angelic um, father. You see, so it's a hybrid. So that they were giant because their frequency was giant, their energy was giant, their mental was giant, their ideas were giant. They were able to tap into higher realms. They were able to understand certain things that normal people couldn't. And you can't mix um, highly intelligent, conscious beings with people that are scared of, you know, superstitions. You know, it don't mix. They, this is how um, things started to control lesser beings. They saw how more intelligent that these beings were and how they were taking advantage of those who weren't. So the hybrid. hmm Does your blood have anything to do with the frequency? Yes, it does. Also, you can change your frequency. So your blood type has a certain frequency, but what you eat also determines your frequency. How you feel also determines your frequency. How you think also determines your frequency. Um, how you breathe also determines your frequency. Um, your DNA also determines that frequency. So, right. It says those children will suffer forever. Yep, the hybrids. The hybrid children are, they're stuck in the middle and the pain is thunder. But so lift your head up high and scream out to the world, I know I am someone, and let the truth unfurl. MJ. No one can hurt me now because I know the truth. I believe in me, so you believe in you. There you go. So if there's hybrids, who is the race? Brown people are not the hybrids. A hybrid race would be um, someone that is not 100% of uh, someone who's not 100% of anything. That everybody's got some blood in them. Everybody got some of that blood in them now. Unless you are 100% African blood, you got some hybrid blood. You hybrid. hmm Suffer is a word that can be could you suffer mentally? Could you suffer from loneliness? Could you suffer from lack of knowledge? Do you suffer from not fitting in? Do you suffer from uh, lack of knowledge of self? Do you suffer what are you suffering from? You know, and remember also, suffering is a choice. So, also, when you hear that, suffering is a choice. That's why alchemy and transmutation and the universal law, when you have knowledge, you no longer suffer. So once the hybrid children got the knowledge, once people started waking up and realizing, you know, certain things, their suffering stopped. And still, when you have knowledge, even knowledge can bring upon suffering, you know. So the more you know, the more you got to learn, the more you realize things aren't what they seemed. Thank you, Miss Aqua. It isn't much, but happy New Year's. Oh, thank you. Always, forever. Thank you for teaching us to be strong. Oh, thank you, Miss Aqua. Sprinkle Sprinkle, you donated on my other channel too. I appreciate that. Um, so once you understand and know and seek knowledge, your suffering is then of knowing too much. You see? So there you go. Just like awakened people suffer in their family who still sleep. But it's a level of consciousness that you have. It's just a level of consciousness that you have. Because some people don't suffer at all because they don't even look deeper into any knowledge and they just exist. So some people suffer because they know too much. Some people suffer because they don't have the answers and they want to know more. Some people suffer because they don't feel, that everything is right and there's something missing and there's questions that are unanswered. So suffering also means, mental suffering as well. It also means physical suffering because if you don't have the right mindset, you can't free yourself from any physical harm, physical suffering either, because, you don't understand who you are. So all suffering is from lack of knowledge of self. hmm Get regression, yes or no? If you want one, get it. hmm Here's my thing: if you want it, do it. Why ask other people what you should do? Do you want me to create your life for you? Create your own, make your own decisions based on the knowledge that you have. I can't tell you what to do. That's the best advice I can give to anybody. Like, don't ask people what you should do. If you want to do it, if you want to experience it, then go for it. Mhm. Um, how do you truly know who you are? I've been a hermit mode for research. Research. Thank you, Nadia. I get visions, dreams, manifesting vacates, money, lovers with me, and people get those things with others. Not me. They gain my energy like a genie. How do I stop? Stop. Um, thank you, Sprinkle Sprinkle 777. Thank you. So other people get those things, not me. Da, 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 because they're not dreaming about it. They're actually doing it. You know, maybe your dream is trying to tell you to go out and do it. Go get that money. Go get that vacation. Go get that dream. Dream lover could rescue me. Go get it. You can't find them sleeping. Get out there. Be seen. Do what it takes to get the attention of a dream lover. Hey, level up, like I say on my other channel. He ain't gonna come find you sleeping in the woods like Snow White. So what what do you need to do in order for that to happen for you? That's what you need to be asking. That's the question that you need to ask. What am I not doing that they are? And that is your answer. Does a dog think it's a cat? If it's around cats all day, probably. Okay. You give people advice that works for them, but not for me. You know why? Because you're not. Okay, so here's my thing. You're supposed to lead by example. So you're not even taking your own advice. Lead by example. Whatever you told them to do, you should have already done it. Okay. That's why it's not working. Find someone who's done what you are trying to do and get advice from them because y'all are working backwards. I'm just saying, a lot of people read a book, watch a video, repeat the knowledge, but never accomplish it and then go out and tell other people how to do it, but they ain't never done it. Go find someone who did it and sit there and listen to them and then go do that before you give advice. Why? I'm going to tell you why. The reason that you giving advice to other people and it's working is because they might believe that you have done this. They might just believe that you are a person who has accomplished this. And so they go out and do it thinking that they're getting advice from someone who's already done it. Therefore, they think it's possible. They know it works and et cetera, et cetera. But, if you didn't get it from a person that has accomplished it and you didn't know, you saw that they may or may not have accomplished anything, but they just read a book. Maybe that's where that's where it messes up right there. That frequency is not where it should be to manifest. So when you get advice or when you get information from people, make sure that they're able to do the very thing that they're teaching, or else you're not going to be able to get the full frequency of that knowledge. Okay. Um, if a million people say that they can see blue when you're asked what color the car is, what color is it? It depends on how strong you are mentally of what your answer will be. Has anybody done? Oh, we're not talking to each other. The application of knowledge is power. That's true. The application of knowledge puts you in a position of power because people are watching you and you are leading them by example and they will follow in your footsteps and they will listen to you and they will support you and there is your power. So, that's why you have a lot of musicians, um, celebrities that have a lot of influence because people follow them and people watch them and watch them come from nothing to something. I mean, that's the whole thing. The rise of a celebrity is watching someone become great, and so people love that. It's like you know they like to watch someone rise. Thank you, Devin Lee. Man, everything you saying, I'm a witness to. Even when it comes to the Bible, and hear you say those things to this point is confirmation of spirit leading. Oh, thank you, Devin. Appreciate that. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yep. I mean, everything is in code. So, when y'all see my videos and you say I'm decoding the Bible or I'm talking about biblical things, yeah, because I'm decoding it. If somebody writes a book this thick and it says the same thing in every chapter, and you still haven't caught on yet, Somebody has to tell you. Okay, think about it. In every book of the Bible, the same lesson, the same exact information over and over. Just like when you watch a movie, the same code, the same message in every movie. And each book of the Bible is the same lesson, just in different format and different character with different characters. So it's telling you the same thing over and over. And you can read the entire book and still have no clue what it told you if you don't know how to decode. So, right. I have tried, but okay. Are there any moderators in here? We don't need moderators. Why filter out? Why filter out that part of the world? You can't have everything perfect. You got to learn how to deal with stuff that you got to learn how to deal with stuff no matter what. This is how you become your greater self because you already know. No, like people don't bother people that are not important. People don't bother people that don't matter. Okay. So it just makes me know that I matter. Right. I don't need any moderators. It just lets me know that I matter. Okay. My mom tried to tell me I should give this guy a chance. He has ambition, an apartment, and a car, but no future, no furniture. He just moved in. What should I do? He works. Ooh, I'm not signing no contract with that situation. I'm keeping my options open. I'm a free agent, baby. That's just all I'm gonna say. Free agent, free agent. Thank you, Devin Lee. In the Bible, it says it's written in parables, which means hidden secrets. That's right. It does say that, but people don't even realize that. That is so true. Even the Emerald tablets are also written that way. So it is to be broken down. You're correct. But people just ignore that little part of it. But yep, it does say that. Mhm. My dusty ex stole someone's furniture. No joke. All I'm saying is, don't sign any permanent contracts. Keep your options open always. You too have potential. That's what I'll say. You too have potential. Mhm. Men were okay. Men were designed for God. Women were designed for men. But you came out of a woman though. I don't know. That's backwards too. So this is why we came from the dust of the earth and women from the rib. I didn't come from no dust. I'm from the cosmos. Okay. I didn't come from dust. I didn't come from a rib either. Rib is also rib is also code for DNA, the DNA sequence structure. Thank you, Jay. How do you get over fear of speaking to spirits? I'm not scared in a dream, but as I wake up, I become terrified. Thank you. You spirit, are you afraid to speak to a regular person over the phone? Think about this for a second. Are you afraid to speak to people over the phone? Because it's the same exact thing as speaking to a spirit. You're not there physically, there's no body, and the voice is coming from a frequency. So if you're not afraid to talk on the phone, You shouldn't be afraid of spirits. If you're not afraid to watch TV, you shouldn't be afraid of spirits. Okay, because it's the same thing except you don't have a device. How do you get over fear? Oh, I just read that one. Yeah. It's the same thing. All you're doing is tuning into a frequency and communicating with that frequency, just the same as a phone call. Um, that's why you hear a lot of rappers talk about, oh, you used to call me on my cell phone. You know, it means that you have a direct connection to that frequency, to that spiritual realm. Okay, so that's good. Should I write? I have $10,000 saved up. Um, I don't see why that matters. You can write, save money, or have a business and do something else. You can multitask. Why do one thing when you could do several? Hmm. You dream of being a rib. Right. So, if you know the story of Adam and Eve, you know Eve wasn't the first woman. Lilith was, and she ain't come from no rib. Okay. So, oops. Guess you forgot about that part. Hmm. If off topic, but you and your daughter should watch the movie that Fast Color is about. Okay, Fast Color. Okay, thank you. Right. So Lilith was the first wife that could not be controlled because she went from the dust. Never thought about it like that. Right. Mm. Double eight meaning symbolism. I always think of eight as eternity. A Taurus, a fourth dimensional revolution, like fourth dimensional frequency. Okay. Did you watch? Thank you, Devin. Man come from woman, though. In the XX chromosome turned to the XY. At one point, women were able to pregnate themselves. I think of the, yep, that's so true. Sprinkle, sprinkle, he came through with some knowledge. That's true. So here is how, like, you can learn this from Dr. Delbert Blair. On one of his videos, he talks about that. He talks about how at one point on Earth, certain beings were at a certain frequency. There was a certain temperature. We were in a whole different electromagnetic frequency spectrum, and a woman was able to procreate or get pregnant or produce offspring just by changing her frequency and vibrating her egg in order to start the metamorphosis or the change, whatever, to turn it into a zygote. But as the frequencies of the earth changed and we devolved, um, the sperm or the sperm cell would swim up into the egg and would vibrate that egg through penetrating it, and that vibration of that sperm is what started the mitosis. So if you were in a higher frequency and you didn't need something to create a different frequency in your egg, then all you would have to do is kind of focus on changing the frequency of your egg so that it would start the mitosis, and then you would have a baby. It was a conscious decision to have a child. Um, that's called parthenogenesis. Yes. So the frequencies of the earth change. Like at this frequency, yeah, you need a sperm. But at a higher frequency, with higher consciousness and the ability to change the frequency, different frequencies of your body mentally, it's very possible. Mhm. And like the child would be born with only your DNA, not of a man. But when the sperm um, changes the vibration of the eggs to start mitosis, that DNA from that sperm also merge with that egg cell, and that's how you have the two DNAs combined. So mm, that's what he was talking about. Yeah, smart viewers in the chat. Hey, coming through with the information. Yeah, it's refreshing. I'm like, it's like I'm impressed. Mhm. Mhm. Um, eight-pointed star Ishtar. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Ooh, that's a good question. Well, the chicken would have to come 1st. Mhm. Remember, everything is built from the top down. Mhm. The chicken would have to come first. Thank you, Devin Lee. Even men have the female skin structure. That's true. That's true. But if we go back into a different frequency, a different uh, dimension of Earth, beings are going to be a lot different. Reproduction is going to be a lot different, and uh, a lot of people think we're evolving back to that. Mhm. So I'm trying to read these comments. Yeah. Both came first. That's the paradox. Yeah, because the chicken is inside the egg, or the egg is inside the chicken, right? So they always existed as one, and then they separated. That's funny though. Someone said, I don't date anyone, so I don't care. Okay. Um, y'all pick up everything and repeat it without grasping. Wow. Well, there's always some silly people in the bunch. They'll, yeah, basically, it's being able to control your own reality, to create consciously and to reproduce consciously, which is taking humanity to a higher frequency, into a godlike status. That's basically what it means. Um, and when I say God, I don't mean source. I mean a God aspect as able to create. Mhm. How do you handle a child that has a low vibration? I think my child is depressed. He's 24. That's not no child. That's a man, baby. Probably because most people don't have a direction in life because they don't know who they are. I would teach him about self. Know thyself. When you know who you are and you know your power and you know everything about um, your abilities and your past, your present, and then you can see your future because there's no doubt within. So teach him about himself. You know what I'm saying? And when I say know thyself, I mean know thy culture, know thy history, know where you came from, know the story before that, know the science of your body, the science of yourself, the science of your DNA. Go in, you know, learn who you are, research yourself. That's what I would do. That's like, how people say, oh, I'm related to this person, or I'm related to that royal person, or I'm related to a pharaoh or something like that. When you know something about yourself and you know where you came from, it turns everything around, you know? hmm Um, just learning yourself is a journey. Yep. You won't be bored, believe. He was a star athlete. I think it's shock when he's getting all the attention he used to get. Um, well, he got to find another way to get attention. Perhaps it should be something else besides athletics. He need to find a new focus, a new passion. hmm What do I think about volunteering? Like for yourself, if that's what you want to do. hmm Someone says get a YouTube channel. Tell him to get a YouTube channel. Mm, um, if it were me, like if I were him, and I'm used to getting all this attention and nobody's paying attention to me anymore. I mean, I'm a woman. You can get attention as a woman. What do men have to do to get that attention? Because this answer is simple. Women can get attention by just looking cute. Okay, men got to get attention by earning some money. Okay, tell him to start a business, create a business, figure out how to earn some money. Right. Then he could brag about that. Okay. I'm just serious. Everything is causing depression. What are they ingesting, watching? Frequencies. The frequencies are changing, and when frequencies change on the planet, people's brain frequencies change, and chemicals in their brains change and cause depression. So, um, if you are not a naturally high frequency being, you're going to find depression uh, more easily than the next person because we're being bombarded with all these frequencies from what 5G, UVB radiation, cell phones. So that's going to alter your brain chemicals. And so depression may sink in. That's why you have to keep your frequency high, which is why I have all my elixirs. Look, shameless plug. All my elixirs, gold, platinum, copper, silver, phase 1 through 7 also raises your frequency if you take them one phase at a time. You also have um, diet that you can control, etc., etc., etc. Okay. The sun alone can help raise your frequency. That's true. Mhm. Um, and Wi-Fi causes mental effects. They want us to be sheep. Mhm. Nothing is wrong. Okay, here's the thing. The paradox. I did a video on the paradox. Things that are good and bad for you at the same time, depending on your frequency. Depending on your frequency determines whether something is good or bad for you or not. Think about that. So that's what determines it. It doesn't matter about all the things that are running through the air. It matters about your frequency. Whatever your frequency is determines on whether those other things are dangerous or not. Mm. So you said, how can people be depressed when there's food on the earth? Frequencies can alter your brain chemistry. So, you know, hey, Shira, any advice on how to gain your memories back for the master back on Earth? Hmm? You, spend a lot of time alone, meditate, dream, regress, travel back in time mentally. It's a lot of self work. Can certain frequencies make you smarter? Yep, they sure can. They do. The soil in America is tainted, so it probably don't matter if you're vegan here. Mhm. Well, it's not about the soil. If you study plants, it's not about the soil. Sure, you have any tips for self-discipline? Yep. Um, my tip is to envision what you want your result to be, and knowing that the discipline is what's gonna get you there. So, um, and if you don't have discipline, where you could end up, see both sides of the story. Like if I don't have discipline, this is where I'm gonna end up in 5 years, and look down that path. Do you like what you see? If I stay disciplined, this is where I'm going to end up in 5 years. Look down that path. And if you like what you see, then you know you need to stay on that discipline. So look into the future down each path of discipline and no discipline and see where you end up. If that's where you want to be, then go down that path. You know, it's that simple. It's just like traveling in time. Well, if I don't have any discipline, let me travel to the future and see what my life is going to be in 5 years. Oh God, no! You see a horrible nightmare. You going when you get back, you're going to be super disciplined. Okay, so do that. Um, thank y'all. I think I'm gonna go now because I think this is long enough. Thank y'all for tuning in. I hope y'all have a happy new year. I hope y'all manifest the life and create the life that you want. I hope you free yourselves eventually if you haven't freed yourself already, which means starting your own thing. The the world is set up now to where everyone can to where most people can free themselves. Okay. We have the ability to free ourselves, especially with the internet. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to. You know, figure it out and do it. Good chat. Good chat. Thank you. And whatever y'all do on New Year's, make sure on New Year's Eve, before it turns 2020, that don't use this as a way to start something, or like, oh, I'm going to start this, or this is a new year, I'm going to do this, because that means that it ended, or that it can end. Just like, I'm going to continue to create the life that I desire. Don't ever stop and start, because it means that there's limits, and there is no limits. I'm going to continue on my path of creation and creating the life that I desire, even better. Okay, don't. This is why no one keeps their New Year's resolutions. Because think about what a resolution is. It's like, you know, no one ever said, "Oh, how did you get famous? How did you get rich? How did you accomplish all your accomplishments? How did you do that?" Oh, from a New Year's resolution. Nobody has ever said that. So don't work backwards, work forward. I'm going to continue to create the life that I desire in 2020 and 2021 and 2022 and so on and so forth forever. Don't nothing start here. I'm already here. See? So I'll see y'all later. Happy New Year.